So today we are going to start our last chapter, that is chapter number 5, AI ethics. Okay, when we talk about the word ethics, it means some rules and regulations that need to be followed. So what can be those rules and regulations that we need to follow when we are talking about the AI world? Robots, AI based machines, okay, virtual things. So why we should go for these things? You can see now from the previous 20 to 30 years, we can see that AI based tools, especially robots, are everywhere. So there should be some rules and regulations. So it is everywhere, from digital assistants to self-driving car, from social media to games. Artificial intelligence has silently crept into our lives and it has become an indispensable part of our life, very important part of our life. Artificial intelligence primarily aims to develop machines that can think and act like humans, that have reasoning, that have thinking skills as a human being. But AI enabled machines have started outperforming humans. Means they are becoming better than humans because they are fast. They can think fastly. In comparison to humans, they can do so many things very fast. They do not get bored. They can do repetitive tasks. They can automate the task, makes the task automatic. So they have started outperforming humans in so many areas, especially where work is to be done. They are able to do the work in very less time. However, it is yet to be ascertained whether the unbridled progress made by AI in the past few years is leading humanity towards making this planet a better place. So it is not certain. It has to be certain in future, might be after 20, 30 years when robots will be increased, when we will have so many AI based tools. Then we will be able to ascertain whether this progress that we have made in AI in the past few years will help humanity, the human race, the people of the world towards making this planet a better place, or it will raise a risk that malicious users, means those scientists who have a wicked mind, those who have bad intention, if AI will be used by these malicious users, these bad person, will they exploit it, will they use it for wrong purpose, might be. So whether it will benefit humanity or it will create problem for the humanity, we will see it in future, in the coming 30 to 40 years, I think. For example, one better example we can think of the use of facial recognition that is based on computer vision has helped the Indian police, Indian cops, trace 3,000 missing children in just 4 days. They just checked all the police stations, all the thanas where they have missing report, and all those children that they found. So lost and found become very easy for the police when they went for facial recognition. So that is a better thing, it has helped humanity. And one more thing where it is going to create harm for the humanity, that is, I think you all have heard about this, that China is now deploying robot soldiers on the border near India, especially in the Arunachal Pradesh area and the area where we have skirmishes with China in a past. Okay, so there they are going to deploy robots. So these robots are not able to think, they just know the enemy, they just know the dress of the enemy and they will kill the enemy. So it create trouble for countries who are have their humans in the army fight with the army of robots. These machines our country is also trying to develop, but right now our DRDO, that is developing defense equipment, is not able to complete it. So we will have these in the coming 3 to 4 years. So will it create trouble? So one help for the humanity, one example of help and one example of creating trouble for the humanity. One more thing that is a problem: surveillance through facial recognition is happening. CCTV cameras equipped with facial recognition technology are able to know where the person is going, where the person is. They are able to track that person. So can also create some risk of privacy, risk of safety. They can have surveillance. Every person who is having good knowledge of CCTV and video and computer vision in AI will be able to survey the person. There will be security risk also. So it will limit the children or the people's ability and the willingness to take risk. That is the trouble. So one benefit, so one problem also. So we have readily embraced this technology. We have embraced, we have used it, and we have taken it into our world. These computers and machines, they might start controlling our existence also. The fundamental question are what we should do with this system, what the systems should do with us, and what kind of risk is involved, and how we can control these risks. See, there is bad in everything. There is risk in everything. Science can also be seen as a boon or bane. Science created so many good things. Medical sciences have given so many remedies, so many benefits. But science has given nuclear technology, nuclear bombs. So that is also a part of science. So whatever comes from science is totally dependent on how we use them. So how we use them is a big issue. And there comes the ethics, the rules and regulations, the good manners that we should follow when we are using AI based machines. We can define AI ethics as the moral principle, moral obligation, moral rules and regulations governing the behavior of humans when they are designing, constructing, and using artificial intelligent machines like robots. So when whatever they program, the robot will do. If they will program the robot to kill the human beings, they will kill the human beings. So when they are designing, constructing, and using the artificial intelligent machines, how they should behave. In other words, we can say that AI ethics means the rules that help us determine what is wrong, what is right while developing and using the AI technology. What can be good for humanity, what can be bad for humanity. Technology based products often place an ethical obligation upon technology and its creator. Always. Science, also nuclear. So when we developed nuclear, there that time also those scientists who developed this, there was an ethical obligation on those scientists to use it for good purpose. Those scientists who gave the nuclear bomb to America or they were giving it to Germany, they are the real black spot on the scientist whole group of scientist race. So technology based products always have some ethical obligation upon those people who are creating this technology. So the ethical challenges that are coming with AI are ethical quality of the outcome drawn from developing artificial intelligence machines. The outcome that we get from these machines, it should have good ethical quality. Outcome means the result that they are doing. We have created a robot, the robot is killing people. That is not a good ethical quality outcome. So what is the ethical quality outcome that is coming from these machines? And what is the impact that AI will have on humans? Good impact, good. Bad impact, problem. So it is important to talk about AI ethics because it helps you to understand and monitor the actions and the consequences of the AI technology. Researchers are not only evaluating the impact of AI technology on human safety, human perception to interact with AI powered robots and machines, but also impact on privacy and dignity of the people. But they are also trying to ensure that these technologies do not violate the human moral compass. Human moral compass, for example, kindness, safety of the people. They should not overrun these things, because robots do not have mind, do not think, they do not have the cognition abilities. Okay, they do not have senses to think what they are doing. So that comes to us, that we have to think about it. So raising good machines, creating good machines, creating good programs in the machines. Ethics in simple terms can be defined as a moral philosophy, a moral rules and regulations that guides people on how to make decision, how to lead their lives. Derived from the Greek word ethos. Ethos, ethics is largely concerned with what is good for the individual or what is good for the society. So what is good for the society when we talk about AI? In the last few years, there has been a lot of buzz, lot of questions, lots of discussions going on around AI ethics. So let us try to understand why AI ethic mean with the help of an example. If the AI algorithm that an autonomous car works on proves to be incorrect, the AI algorithm on which the car is running is wrong, what will happen? It will lead to accident. Then who would be held accountable? Who is responsible? The owner, the person who bought the car, the programmer who programmed the car, or the manufacturer or the company which is testing the vehicle, which is selling the vehicle. Similarly, there is a debate raging that if the AI algorithm of self-driving cars had to choose between two potential accident victims. Okay, this is a very big question on justice. Suppose a car is running and you are in the car and you have lost control of the car. You can see two group are there. One group of five people who are there and sorry, and one group of two people who are there. You have to choose anyone, so better we will choose two. We will kill two people, but we will choose two. So if the AI algorithm of self-driving car had to choose between two potential accident victim, which one should they choose, or whether they should be programmed to choose at all? Just 1 minute. Okay, so the question comes that you have to choose, AI algorithm have to choose which one should they choose, or whether they should be programmed to choose at all between 5 and 2 people. So these real life examples highlight only the tip of the iceberg. Means there are so many questions, so many problems that can come. It is a widely accepted fact that AI systems have no moral standard right now. They don't know what to do in these type of situations. You can change, copy, terminate, delete or use a computer program at your own will. The moral foundations that we are subjected to in our dealings with the AI enabled systems are grounded in our own responsibility to other human beings. If these AI based systems are creating trouble, then instead of going for AI based machines, we should be deleting them, terminating them, deleting them. So the systems do not have any duty towards themselves. We have some duty towards society. AI systems or AI robots do not know anything about these things. So AI systems lack moral standard. They don't have any moral standard. They have not been programmed on any moral standard. So it is proposed that the systems should meet the following two criteria. Right now, we do not have any moral standard in AI based systems. The robots do not have any moral. They just know what to do. Just. So, it is proposed by so many scientists that the systems should meet the following two criteria. One is sentience. This is defined as the capacity of the machine to feel pain and suffering. Means they should be programmed with one more ability of sentience, means they should see the pain and suffering of the people. For example, if you deploy a machine in a war zone, it will kill lakhs of people and it will not be having any thinking that it has killed so many people. So it is important that they should be programmed to see the feel and suffering. They should be programmed to see the blood. They should be programmed to see the dead human being. And then they should be programmed to feel the suffering. So one criteria that should be there is sentience. Second is sapience. It can be defined as a set of capacities associated with higher intelligence, means self-awareness, and being a reason responsive agent, means based on the condition they should work. Okay, for example, they have gone to the war to kill the people. Army also does the same thing. These robo fighters will do the same thing, but they should be aware of the condition. They should be aware of the different signals that are given. A green signal usually means an end of the war. Okay, they should know these things. They should be a reason responsive agent. If they know something is happening, the condition is changing, they should also change. So these are the two things, two criterias on which we are working. The scientists are working. They are thinking about it: sentience and sapience. Now let's learn about some consequences of developing and using this technology. Some can be good, some can be bad. Unemployment. AI has drastically improved our world. So much. We can do the work very fast in many ways. But according to a McKinsey Global Institute report, about 800 million people are going to lose their job because of AI driven robots by the year 2030. Customer care are getting replaced with chatbots. Call center operations are also getting replaced with automated voice call. So these AI things are resulting in the loss of job for the people. And it is predicted that robots will replace human beings in these industries very soon. All people will get replaced. That is one big problem. Next is singularity. It is the hypothetical point at which artificial intelligent machines will surpass human intelligence, and human beings will no longer be able to be the most intelligent beings on the earth. This singularity, this capacity that they are the single most animal that can think on their own, so this uniqueness of the human race will just vanish. The continuous advancements in AI raises many debatable questions. Will robots replace human beings in the future? Will they become the most advanced race in the world? Will artificial intelligence overpower human intelligence when we will have the third level of artificial intelligence, that is super AI? Then that will be a very tough time for the human beings because the robots will be very much faster than them. Should singularity exist, means should human beings the most developed species on the planet, or should we develop one more species which is better than us? Some believe this will signal the end of the human era, but we can overcome this fear by setting up a regulatory body, okay, which can monitor the development of superintelligence and set boundaries that till this time, when it will be able to surpass the human beings, we can ask them to stop. Drug trials are time consuming and even take decades before the medicine finally reaches the market, claims IBM. However, with the help of the Singularity, we can test the drugs billions of times in a simulated environment or a digital human being. This would significantly cut down on the time the drug takes to hit the market. For example, using AI-based systems, we predicted so many things about coronavirus also. So this singularity is there with the human beings. We can give them in some criteria to the robots, but not in all the criteria. So if we will give them in critical conditions where they can have good work, for example, testing of the drugs, then there they are going to help us. There they will help us. So this would significantly cut down on the time a drug takes to hit the market. So there we should apply them. There is no any question of singularity. This could go a long way in saving several lives. So here we can go for these things. AI bias. Bias is a big problem. In our real life also, if someone is a leader, if someone is the head of any organization, and if he is biased toward a particular group, biased toward a particular community of people, then that will create trouble. Biasness should not be there. There should be a balance. So if AI becomes biased, if machines become biased, it will be a big problem, because once they will become biased, we cannot change them, their perception, till we change the whole programming. So AI bias is also known as machine learning bias, because AI works on machine learning algorithm, machine learning programs. So these programs are biased actually. AI cannot be fair always. Okay, and it can develop bias towards a particular race, toward a particular gender, or towards a particular ethnicity. Means a particular language group, a particular religious community, a particular ethnic community, culture community. That will be a big problem. So the reason behind this is that AI systems are also developed and trained by humans, who themselves can be biased. For example, gender bias is there in so many places. If you will try to search the images of the army personnels on any AI based system, you will see only the images of the men's. If you will try to check the uh, photos of big personalities, AI might will become biased towards men's. So why is it so? Because the person who has programmed this, who has trained this, who has developed these AI based systems, they can be biased. So there are some real life examples where bias has shown some big problems for the AI systems. For example, Amazon spent years for automating the hiring process. Amazon company is now hiring automatically. There is no any HR there, but had to terminate its AI hiring and recruitment process because it could not stop it from being biased against a particular gender. This happened because the AI system was fed with resumes of people who applied for jobs in Amazon over a period of 10 years. And what happened? Most of them were men. So they mostly belong to a particular gender. They were men. So similarly, the data that was fed of the previous 10 years, it made the Amazon recruiter, AI recruiter, biased towards male only. Similarly, a software known as Compass, which is powered by AI, claimed to predict the future criminals, and but it was renewed with a debate over AI bias because it showed only black people. Whenever the future criminals were predicted by this Compass, it was only showing black people in America, because in America there is a bias towards black people. They think black people are criminals. So a trustworthy AI powered machine can also be biased. This can be illustrated with the help of so many examples. We saw two examples of Amazon company, and Amazon spent so huge amount of money on this AI hiring project and they have to terminate it. A breast cancer prediction model will correctly predict that patients with a history of breast cancer are biased towards a positive result. Means if the government will start scanning those patients who can be future um, cancer patient, then the AI system will be biased towards those who were in past had this cancer problem. So based on the design, it may find that women are biased towards a positive result. Means most of the results were based on women, because most of the cases of cancer, breast cancer, are from the women community, but it can be from the men community also. So here the AI based system will become biased. The final model is likely to have different levels of accuracy also for men and women. For women it will give mostly 60 to 70% result that they are predictable that they will count cancer in future, but for men it will give very less predictions. So because of bias it will not give good result also. Totally biased results will be there and AI will collapse. It will not help. So there are topics that we have discussed.